So I decided to get a pretty early start this morning. Had great sleep last night, probably the best sleep I've had on the trail. Decided to hit the trail and kind of watch the sunrise this morning. But one thing I didn't expect to see, and I kind of didn't realize, was I am at mile 150. This morning I am gonna walk into the Paradise Cafe, which is a mile off the trail, but pretty much everyone says not to miss it. It's totally worth going, so I'm gonna pop in there, get me like a breakfast burrito, and keep on trucking up the mountain. Here at the infamous Paradise Valley Cafe, I'm gonna get a little bit of breakfast. We've hiked about 12, 13 miles up a pretty big mountain, kind of following this ridge, looking down on Palm Springs, which is pretty neat. Been a pretty good day, kind of windy up here, pretty exposed, but absolutely beautiful views. We have about 7 more miles of the actual trail left. So our plan is to hike to where the fire closure is, which I think is at mile 168. And then we're going to hike back 2 miles and then take the Forbes Ranch Spring Trail down to 74, and then we're gonna hitch into Idlewild. That way we can kind of get every mile of the PCT that's available to hike, and then still get down into Idlewild without kind of adding an extra day on. Burnt but beautiful. This is the furthest mileage that you can do to the fire closure on the PCT. That would be Palm Springs down there in Palm Desert. You can see the burn over there on the side of the mountain. The whole mountain's pretty much bald because of the burn. So, we made it into Idlewild last night after like 28-mile day, after doing like a reroute and hitching in from 74. We decided to take a little bit of a zero off the trail. We're at mile 168. Been pushing it pretty hard to this point, so just kind of hanging around town and relaxing. Racer X is off to meet with the mayor of Idlewild, which is actually a dog. It's a golden retriever, is the mayor of Idlewild. I think Foxtrot is trying to find his cousin, who's also currently hiking the PCT, and myself. I've pretty much just been walking around, taking it easy, and hanging out with some other hikers. So today I hung out with...
No.
Bogey. Silva.
Sage. Tumbleweed.
P-Stop. Wreck-It. Be easy. Slow-mo.
So it was really nice sitting around with all them, and just talking trail and drinking a couple beers. So it's always good to take a zero. Love taking zeros just because kind of gets you physically and mentally off the trail and kind of lets you repair. So yeah, not much else to say about today other than 0 day, food, beer, resupply, and rest. Well, I had a great zero in Idlewild yesterday. And left this morning. Had to leave kind of late because I had to mail something out kind of last minute. But I am back on the trail on the reroute, and I have about 4 miles up the reroute before I meet back up with the PCT at mile 178. So again, you know, I'm going for every single available mile of the PCT. After a really steep, crazy long climb up the reroute, I am back on the PCT, right where it picks back up at mile 178, and now I'm hiking to San Jacinto Peak. Well, at least the trail that goes to the peak. And then my plan is to hike to mile 185, I believe. Then I'm going to hike the 3-point-something miles up to the peak, see the peak, and then hike 3-point-something back down the same way, and carry on. I got to the junction where the PCT splits off from the first San Jacinto trail, which is what a lot of hikers take. They take the San Jacinto alternate. But you know, my goal when I came out here was to hike every mile of the PCT that was available. You know, if there's fire closures, that's one thing, I can't hike it. But if the trail's open, you know, I came out to hike the PCT. Yeah, you know, there's nobody else on this trail. I'm by myself. It is much more elevation gain and loss. And when I get to the other side, I am going to hike an extra 6 miles to go up to San Jacinto and come back down. So it's adding an extra 6 miles on my day, but for me, it's totally worth it. So, you're probably expecting to see a clip of me climbing San Jacinto. So what happened was I actually hiked 2 mile 185.7 of the PCT, which is the second trail that you can take to get to the top of San Jacinto. It was going to be like 3.2 miles, and then I was going to hike back. I dropped my pack off there at the trailhead, and I started climbing, and I got about 2 miles up, and the weather got really nasty. Wind got up to about, I had to take a guess, maybe 60 mile an hour wind. The temperature dropped really low, and then to the west there were some big, nasty, dark clouds. So I just kind of made the conscious decision that it wasn't worth me going up there. If I was going to get socked in by bad weather, I've been on the top of enough mountains in bad weather to know when to call it. And funny enough, right whenever I decided to turn around, Racer X was actually coming down himself, and he didn't get to the top either. He definitely got a little sketched out by the weather. So we both made the decision to just kind of hike back down. We ended up grabbing our packs, hiking a few miles up, and then right now we are kind of in a small stealth spot on the side of the mountain. I'm gonna get some rest, get up in the morning, and then we have a 20-mile descent off of the mountain, and it's a dry descent. So I have water that I just picked up from about a mile back, and that is the only water for about 20 miles. So bed early, up early, take off and get this big descent done. It's a new day, beautiful morning, a lot less windy, a lot less chilly. Pretty much just descending the massive mountain chain, the San Jacinto Mountains, today. It's like a 20-mile stretch, pretty dry, no water, and then at the bottom of the mountain there's supposed to be a spigot with some water. So that's where I'm trying to hike to currently, and I don't know where I'm going to head tonight. I think my next stop is going to be Big Bear. So I believe Snuggles is going to meet me there, and I think she's going to go do some trail magic around Big Bear, so it'll be nice to see her again. So I've been descending for quite some time now, for a few hours, and I'm still not down to the bottom, but I am back in the desert. No more beautiful alpine forest. It's pretty wild though, because out in front of me you can see kind of these deserty mountains. But if we look back, I don't know if you can see it, right between those trees is San Jacinto Peak. Hiking down the road through the desert is never fun. Luckily, I do have an umbrella. Even though it's broke, it snapped on me a few days ago because of a high wind, but it's working. I don't know if you guys can see the wind farm there in the distance. Big old windmills. That road is actually the road that you take to get up into Joshua Tree.
So it's getting pretty late in the day and I'm still hiking. I got in 20 miles by 2 o'clock today. So I just feeling good and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna push it. There was another water stop. I think it's called Whitewater Preserve in 10 miles. It was 2 o'clock. I sat around for about 45 minutes, took a break, took my shoes off, ate a little bit. And yeah, so I'm pushing for a 30+ mile day. Still coming down this ridge. I think it's about 6 o'clock, maybe 6:30. But man, I'll tell you what, coming down this canyon right now is just absolutely stunning. There is supposed to be something called, I think, the Whitewater Preserve. And it's about 0.5 off of the trail. So that is where I'm planning on heading. There's supposed to be a camp spot there, a place where you can dip into the water, which sounds so good, especially on my knees and my feet. And even bathrooms with running water. So I think that's where I'm gonna head and end up tonight. This was totally worth the 32-mile day. This place was absolutely amazing to camp at last night. So beautiful. Look at this. There apparently is a fire closure today. I think at mile 238. So I think the plan is to hike to the fire closure, which is like in 17 miles, and then go a little bit past that. On Gut Hook, it says that the fire closure is for like, I don't know, 15, 20 miles. So we were originally gonna stop, or I was originally gonna stop right before that and camp and just make it a small day. But according to all the comments on the PCTA's website, it's not closed that far. It's only closed like 4 miles. So after 244, you can camp. So probably try to make it another 20-something mile day. Definitely not 30. Yesterday was fun, but 30+ mile days definitely take it out on you. So I've been hiking quite some time today, and I'm currently hiking through this burn area. That is, you know, every time I hike through a burn area, I always feel really sad that the, you know, obviously the forest is burned down. Something caused it, a horrible fire that killed all this life. But at the same time, it's really inspiring. It's really beautiful. Beauty in the burn, if you will. So it's late, I am tired. It ended up being like a 27 mile day today. I have 20 miles into Big Bear in the morning. I'm eating and going to bed.